What on earth?
Look at the size of that Habu! Look at that!
And so there's the other. Alright guys, good morning. It is once again 5 a.m. and we're boarding another ferry. This time headed for Okinawa, the last leg of the trip, to check off a few more really awesome species which we haven't seen yet. It's gonna be a long day on the boat. Alright, we're moving, and unfortunately we're on the side where we can't see the island as we're leaving because it's on the other side of the ship. But they weren't joking about rough seas. Look at that guy. Oh, it's all wet now, but there's flying fish literally jumping out the water and flying away from the ship. Alright, update many hours later. Didn't really film getting off the boat and stuff because things were a bit chaotic. Took us ages to find a hotel and sort out our rental car, but we're on our way now, and have a look at this. We actually got a decent car, unlike the castrated lawnmower we were driving in Amami. Feels good to finally have a normal powered vehicle again.
I like that car.
It was cute, but it was severely underpowered. Anyway, almost at our spot now, and hopefully we'll find something. It's a bit late, but who knows? Stuff will still be out, I'm sure. Alright, we're on the mountain, just looking for somewhere to pull over and do a bit of walking and or cruising on the way. But yeah, just gonna go around for a while till we figure out the plan and let you know if we find anything. Alright, ladies and Japanese, we are out. The conditions seem good. No rain, but it is nice and humid. The ground is wet. You can hear loads of frogs and stuff calling, and these roadsides are looking absolutely like a dream, so I'm sure we'll be able to find something. Alright, as I just stopped recording, Sky found a Pryor's keelback. Repeat species for the trip. Pretty much the same size as the first one, possibly even a bit smaller. Slightly different pattern, but more or less the same. If you remember what a nasty bite that one gave me, I'm not gonna catch him as we've already seen him. Just gonna let him scoot off. Did you almost step on him?
No, I turned back and I was about to take a step and then I saw him and I was like, oh my god.
Well, it's a good sign. Stuff is out. Let's go. Keep it going. Keep that luck going. This species seems to be much more common here. Look up there on that fern. There's another Pryor's keelback. You can see him right in there. He's a bit high up, and I'm not sure I'm willing to climb all the way up there to get him. I definitely could get him if I wanted to, but I'm sure we'll find another one lower down, considering we've seen two in the first couple minutes of walking now. Nice, though. Hell yeah! Look at this, guys. This is one of my actual big targets, and it's rare that I have a target that's not a snake. Have a look at this. Odorrana ishikawa, the Ishikawa's frog. And this has to be one of the most freaking amazing frogs in Southeast Asia. Have a look at that. The cool thing about these is that this one actually also comes in bright blue. The green morph is the more common one, but I say common in quotation marks because these are still highly clouted and considered a rare frog in the area. Amazing. Really, really happy that we got this one. Wasn't expecting it, but there it is. Gonna put my hand there for size reference. I have obviously only seen them in photos and never knew how big they would be, but have a look at this. This is actually a freaking huge frog. Absolutely stunning. Gonna run back and get the camera for this one for sure. Hopefully we'll be able to find the rare and elusive blue one, but even if we don't, I'm very happy with this find right here. Holy shit, guys! Look at this! The Okinawa coral snake! That is insane. We arrived in Amami, got the first snake was a Pryor's keelback. Same here. The second species was the Amami coral, and here the second species is the Okinawan coral, which is supposedly harder to get. Look at that. That is amazing. That is amazing. And we were just saying we're about to head home. It is what time, babe? Like
It's 2:40.
2:40 a.m. We're tired as hell from traveling all day, and we just got this in the last 2 minutes of herping.
This honestly made it, though.
Yeah, this made the night. I was a little disappointed. I was hyping myself up about the Ishikawa frog, because that is cool and was one of my targets. But now we got the Okinawa coral snake. That is ridiculous. Can you believe that? That thing is beautiful. I'm having trouble figuring out if this one or the other one is more beautiful.
Definitely this one.
Yeah, this one is sweet.
This one's cool.
This one is amazing.
Like, besides stripes, it also has that little banding as well in between the stripes, which is awesome. And the color's nice too.
Damn. Yeah, look at the tail. It starts as an orangey, yellowy color, and then towards the tail it gets more and more red, and that tail is just blood red. That is so cool. I wonder what the venter looks like, and I wonder if he's gonna be bitey or not.
Careful. Oh, yep.
Got him. Flaily little fellow. Ah, the venter is the same. Also that typical piano key venter.
Pretty little bugger.
I can't believe this has been honestly one of the luckiest trips I think I've ever done. Every single target so far we've been consistently checking off one by one. Insanity. Absolute insanity. All right, we are beyond tired, and after seeing that coral, I think we're going to call it a night. Yeah, going to go out tomorrow again. All right, it is night 2, well, evening number 2 on Okinawa. We are heading back out. A slightly different road, not too far from the first one, though. But a friend of mine said he had some success on this road last year, so giving it a try. All right, you can see it is just getting dark. We are out, just parked up, and we're starting to walk. There's a lot of streams and waterfalls here. We're going to start with some road walking, and then possibly also explore some of the roadside streams and valleys that go off into the forest. Very humid in this area though, so I think that should be a good sign for snakes. All right, here we got a little, well, not so little, quite large actually, Holst's frog, Babina holsti, which I only recently came to learn is also a protected species and you're not supposed to touch, so he will be being left alone. Very nice little frog though, and seeing this one and being sure that it's holsti makes me think, and actually fairly certain, that probably that first one we saw in Amami wasn't a Holst's frog. So, possibly the first Holst's frog. Alright guys, have a look at what we got here. This is another one I didn't expect to find. I believe this is Geomida japonica, the black-breasted leaf turtle, and he's running away from me, so I can't really get a good angle. I'm actually not going to pick this guy up because if I am correct, these guys are a protected species and it's actually pretty illegal to touch them here in Japan. So we're just gonna follow him and film him, but we're not actually gonna touch him. Wow, look at those colors though. Come on, buddy. Let me get a nice video of you. Super pretty colors on this turtle. Really bright red. And the carapace is quite spiny as well. Reminds me of some of these spiny leaf turtles that we get in Thailand. Only a very small little guy. I think I can put my hand next to him to show the size without touching him. And he's trying to run away from me by following this log here. What a pretty turtle though. Look at that red on the neck as well. Fire red on the neck. I'm impressed he made his way over that log so easily too. Super neat. Just gonna leave him be though. What a find. First turtle of the trip. Alright guys, look at what we have here. Another Achelinus werneri, the odd-scaled snake, if I remember that correctly. Non-venomous little semi-fossorial reed snake type beat. It reminds me actually a lot the texture of the skin of the bearded snake, Parafimbrios genus. But these guys are pretty neat actually. They really don't feel like any other snake. They feel like almost like a file. Very hard. It's not easy to describe if you've never felt it before. Anyway, just gonna let him disappear. Little cutie. Alright guys, there it is. There it is. Main target for the island. Big fat check. Look at the color of this thing. And here's an adult golden habu, Protobothrops flavoviridis. The snake we were after here tonight and the main target for the whole island. And we've just got him right there sitting in a rock crevice. Let me see if I can get him out. All right, armed with a stick, let's see if we can get him out from here. Shine him there. Have a look at that. Come here, sir. Get out. I wonder if he's going to be as defensive as the other.
sorry.
It's okay.
Oh my god. I'm so
Alright,
fucking sorry.
hang on. We just dropped the phone in the river. Alright, take 2 after the camera went swimming. Careful, be prepared this time because I have a feeling he's going to do that again. He seems like an unhappy camper. Yeah, this is good. If I can get him to extend his body, then I can get my hand in there and reach him out. Using the stick to block him. There we... Ooh. Yep, I know.
I don't trust this fella.
Yeah, no, I don't trust him one bit either. Protobothrops in general are a very untrustworthy family of snakes, but we've got him out now, and my lord, look at the color on this thing. No wonder they call them the golden Habu, because they truly are golden, unlike their slightly different counterparts on Amami Island, which are actually more of a beigey gray. This one seems to be manageable. I'm getting a lot more, despite what just happened, I'm getting a lot friendlier vibes from this one than I did from that one in Amami. And honestly, I must say, I think I'm actually more fond of this one's color than the other one. I mean, this one is actually gold, and the pattern's so much more intricate. Let me see if I can bring him out here without getting bit. Have a look at that. Oh, woo-hoo-hoo. Oh, woo-hoo-hoo. No, nope. Oh. All right, well, we do need to exercise caution with this guy, but he's manageable. He's definitely manageable. I've definitely worked with far worse snakes. I just can't get over how beautiful and intricate that pattern is. I mean, that has got to be one of the most absolutely stunning vipers that I have ever seen. I've been saying that a lot this trip, but it's true, because we have just been finding so many absolute showstoppers. It's actually insane. Protobothrops flavoviridis, the typical form. After seeing them both now, I must say that I'm sure the one on the other island is actually a cryptic different species that just hasn't been split yet, because for one, the scale counts are different, the color and pattern is totally different. So in my opinion, there's no doubt about them actually being 2 different species that maybe one day will be described as such. But this is amazing. This is what it's all about right here. What a snake. This thing is big too. But again, nowhere near as large as the species can get. These guys can get upwards of 2 meters, in some rare cases even close to 3. Now that we've been having him in our hands for just about 2 minutes, how much he's already starting to calm down. Which is very typical in general of snakes, because they're of course defensive at first when you find them because they think they're about to die. But they do very quickly realize that that's not the case, and most snakes very rapidly begin to calm down and actually become very manageable, just like this one here. What a snake though. Absolutely amazing. Have a look at that snake. Hear the rain already starting to come closer, so we should probably hurry along and get our photography done and then get him released. Alright, considering the insane amount of luck we've just had in such a short amount of time, we're actually going to abandon this spot because the golden habu was actually the only target species for us left in this area. Now we're going to drive to the very south of the island to look for the Taiwanese Habu, another target. Jesus Christ on a motorbike! Just cruised up this absolutely chonker of a princess habu. That thing is so fat. Look at the head too. It kind of reminds me of a American water moccasin more than that of a Vophis species. What a beauty though. That thing is huge. Absolutely massive. Look at it next to my hand there. Holy crap, that's so much bigger than the one we got in Amami. I wonder if it's going to be anything as foul-tempered as the one that we saw in Amami. So far, it's a lot slower. But I feel like that's just because it hasn't really figured out what's going on yet. And it may change its attitude very rapidly. He's already starting to move a lot quicker, as you can see. Let me just, for safety, get him a bit more onto the road here. That is amazing. All right. Alright, got myself a trusty little stick that Sky found me. We're gonna try and do a bit of handling, because as you remember, the first one that we saw on the other island was almost impossible to even get a hand on. I don't know if this one will be the same. Definitely gonna give it a gentle try. These guys are nowhere near as toxic as the golden Habus, but it would not be fun either way. Wow, this thing is so thick. I wonder if it might be gravid or not. I mean, this is a large Princess Habu. Absolutely ginormous. Very, very fat as well. The biggest one we've seen so far, although we have only seen 2, so it's not a very good statistic. That is amazing though. We put him back down here. And now it's on the same style of movement as the other one was. I don't think this is a very handleable species, at least not without a stick, because as you see they are, once you grab them they really don't like that, so I'm probably going to refrain from doing that. I don't doubt that a bite from this one would be an absolute nightmare. There we go. Ooh, very, very fast snake. Very fast, pretty defensive once you grab it, and definitely doesn't like being grabbed. And because it's such a short and stocky snake, it's not very safe to actually get your hand on them because they can fling around and get you in the hand so easily. So I think we're just gonna get some nice still footage of it as is and take a couple photos maybe and then release it. All right, let's just let her go. Choop. Goodbye, girlie. She's almost in the ditch. I'm sure we can just leave her. Haven't seen a single other car all night. All right, we've just arrived at the site for the supposed Taiwanese Habu, which is introduced on the island, so not native. Very different habitat. You can see it's a lot drier, grassy, bit of rubbish around. Actually looks not too bad for snakes, so gonna give it a shot. I'm not sure exactly how common this one is here because it's introduced and they are trying like hell to eradicate it, so might not be that common or easy to find, or even existent at all still. Well, not a snake, but have a look at this here juicy white snail. Haven't seen one of those before. Very pretty. Alright, after a bit of aimless stumbling around, we finally found an area that has a lot of these like limestone little pieces, and I think this area actually looks really promising. Alright guys, have a look at this. Here's something I've been really wanting to see as well. This is the ground gecko. Now unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to grab this guy for you guys because these guys are actually protected and you're not supposed to touch them. What a stunning little gecko though. Look at his little cat eyes. Wait, if he would face towards me again. Yeah, I can move the leaf a little bit and maybe get a better look at him. Super pretty eyes on that thing. Really fat tail as well. Beauty. Alright, Sky just spotted our first snake for this trail, and it is actually the first Ryukyu oddtooth snake since arriving in Okinawa.
You can grab it because I'm not getting bit this time.
Yeah, these guys are supposedly the most common snake on the island, but somehow this is the first one we've seen, and we've already gotten several of our other targets prior. Let me just see if I can get there. The water here is a little deep. Yeah, this one's got nice coloration too, considering his size. I mean, I'll put my hand there, you can see. This thing is big. Choo! Gonna bring him. Very, very bitey.
I'm not the only one.
There we go. Our first Ryukyu oddtooth for Okinawa. And just as bitey as all the others we've seen. Look at him trying to bite my shoe, or now he's trying to hide. Yep.
Yep, there we go.
Yep.
I am not fond of these.
I mean, they're very beautiful snakes.
Yeah, they're
They're just
beautiful.
incredibly bitey. Fortunately, they're non-venomous, but according to Sky, the bite was painful, so I'm gonna try my best to avoid that.
But the big one was, so.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm just gonna let him cruise on off.
Ooh, that's in the water too.
Yeah.
It looks so close to me.
And he's off. Nice. Good spot, babe. Got our little alien here. Some species of mantis. I think this is a juvenile. Little weirdo. Look at him like cleaning himself. Or plotting his dastardly attack. Sky just spotted a ground gecko. Just gonna have a look at him here, but no touch. As you can see, he has recently lost his tail, and it's just starting to regrow a little bit. That looks kind of like a purple red rocket of a dog. Interesting. All right, it is starting to rain. Bad for us, but potentially also good for us because it might bring some snakes out. It was quite windy when we started walking. Now the wind seems to have died down. Lots of nice rocky areas here, and I think we're really zoning in on their hotspot. I could just picture one sitting among these rocks. So we're gonna keep grinding and hopefully find one soon. We're now wading in some little shallow concrete drainage trench, and the walls here look absolutely amazing for a viper to ambush on. Been seeing a lot of geckos, so hopefully this will be a good area. Not a snake, but very large crab, some sort of freshwater crab. Oh, and another one. Didn't even see that one. Have a look at this. Sky just spotted a literal bright orange crab, which has now vanished, but that thing was like a tomato. Tomato crab.
Tomato.
Right, another odd tooth by Sky. Funnily enough, at the exact same place that we saw the first one, but now it's like an hour and a half later. And at first I thought this would surely be the same one, but on second thought, I think it's actually quite a bit smaller than the first, so yeah, possibly a different one. Yeah, definitely a different one. That's really funny. Got another absolutely stunning little ground gecko here, and this one I can actually very nicely show you what he looks like without having to touch him. That is tremendous. Look at that beautiful pink stripe on the dorsal. Absolutely amazing. All right, guys, check this out. Down here, look, we got a huge adult Pryor's keelback, and he's being a little defensive. Look, now you can actually nicely see those defense colors in between their scales, which when they mellow out aren't as visible anymore. They flare up and they have these beautiful yellow neck-like patterns. This is definitely by far the largest one we've seen. I mean, when I stretch him out, you can see he is very, very long, larger than any other Hebius I've ever seen before. I mean, this is probably going on, what, 1.2, 1.3 meters? Very, very large keelback. And surprisingly, he's not as bitey as all the other ones were that we've seen. Come in close here. Really, really pretty little snake. Or in this case, not so little. These remind me actually a lot more of Rhabdophis or Amphiesma than they do of Hebius. I actually do believe that that is a misclassification and they should not be in Hebius. Either way though, very nice snake. These guys are mildly venomous and rear-fanged, but I got bit by one earlier this trip and it was painful, but other than that, nothing really happened, so nothing to be worried about. Anyway, just gonna let him go. Right back down here. And away he goes. Alright, day 3. It's quite dark and gloomy, and this is most likely going to be our final night of herping, so we better make it tonight. Main target is the Taiwanese Habu, the introduced species of Habu on the island here, considering we've already found all of the native ones. So yeah, it's not a very prestigious target, but it'll still be a lifer for me, which I hope we'll be able to see before leaving. If not, I'm sure I'll see it in another country at some point. We were just driving to the spot! And look at this! An absolutely gargantuan golden Habu! Wow. What on earth? Holy crap, babe! Yeah, take the light, take the light.
Huh? This is awesome!
That is ridiculous! Look at the size of this thing coming close! Look at the size of that Habu!
The stripe range would be.
We were on the way to look for the Taiwanese Habu because we had said we'd already found one of these. We don't need to find another. And then on the way to the spot, look at that. I was driving on the road and I saw this one crawling on the sidewalk.
Woo!
Crap!
Careful, strike
This
range
thing
would
is
be
like as long as
amazing.
me. What
Woo!
on earth? What on earth? The head is like the length of my fist. Not quite, but nearly. Look at the size of this thing.
Wow.
Holy Jesus. All right, we need to.
Maybe play it safe.
Yeah. I am. Look at the size of this thing. It's literally as long as me.
Wow.
What
Wow.
on earth? All right, we're gonna cut while I find a stick because there's no way I'm safely getting near that pointy end without a stick handy. All right, Sky has managed to fetch me a stick while I've been doing the do not get bit dance around this snake. And till we can figure out a better way to hold on to it for a moment while I get my camera and stuff set up, I am gonna try and neck this one because I do not want to take any chances with a snake this large. And of course I have the flimsiest stick known to man. All right.
Ho, ho, ho.
Okay, I've got him. Come in close.
Nice.
What on earth?
Wow.
Look at the size of this head. That is
the fangs.
outrageous.
No.
What the hell?
Look at his head, the size of his
That
head.
is crazy.
Oh.
What a snake. Hang on.
We adjust very
Yeah. I'm trying very careful not to cop a bite here. Imagine the venom yield on that thing.
And his fangs.
Yeah.
Holy, that. Besides.
I mean, look at this next to my arm. Look at the thickness here, next to my wrist. Now that is a big viper. All right, we're gonna we just parked the car in the middle of the road.
Ooh. Careful, my love.
Yeah, I'm careful.
So careful. Oh, darling.
It's okay, I got him. We're gonna pull over on a roadside somewhere till we can figure out a better setup because we just parked the car in the middle of the road with the hazard lights on, but we'll be back shortly. All right, guys, we've moved a little way away from the highway now, but not far at all from where we found him. I've secured myself a better stick to keep some distance between me and the pointy end, but my lord, look at the size of this snake. That is absolutely ridiculous. Without a doubt, the largest viper I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I'm gonna measure him in a moment to get an exact figure here, but I guess this is probably at least 1.8 to 2 meters, possibly even more. I mean, this thing is absolutely gargantuan. And he was very bitey a moment ago when we moved him off the road. As he still is, as you can see. But I think we're gonna be able to calm him down a little bit if we're super gentle with him. I've noticed that he seems to take great notice to any time that I touch a part of him that is anything other than the tail where I'm holding him by now. You can see, once he's crawling, one moment, he seems to, the moment I grab somewhere that isn't the tail, you can see he really doesn't like that and starts turning around. The snake is very aware and it seems to give off a higher intelligence than most vipers I've worked with, even smaller ones of the same species that we found earlier. But look at this snake. That is absolutely crazy. Come in closer here a little bit to try and get a bit of a better shot. What on earth? This is a freaking massive viper if I've ever seen one. Holy cow, guys. What a snake. This surely made the find. I mean, I was overjoyed by the previous snakes that we've seen this trip, but seeing a viper this large stretched out on the side of the road just takes the cake and is, I think, any herper's biggest dream. I'm still shaken with adrenaline. It's not every day that you see a snake this impressive in the wild. And I'm sure you can see now why I said earlier in the episode that this snake may unofficially be the largest species of viper in Asia, only rivaled by the Mangshan pit viper, which is in the same genus, also a Protobothrops. Now, this one is absurdly large, but believe it or not, a friend of mine in captivity has an individual that's even a meter or so additional to the length of this one, which is absolutely ludicrous. So, unofficially, this may very well be Asia's longest species of pit viper. Now, we've only been here a few days and managed to find a couple individuals already, so as you can see, they're not insanely rare, but large individuals like this are incredibly rare, as I've been told by some fellow Japanese herpers, because, you know, a snake like this would be probably, what, 10, 15 years old, and the majority of individuals just don't make it that long, especially because the Japanese are very fond of using this species in a alcoholic beverage where they actually kill these snakes, put them in alcohol, and drink it for some sort of nonsense, which is a real shame, and it's causing these really large individuals to be extremely rare and hard to find. But we're so lucky that we were unfortunate enough to find a big girl like this. I mean, that is unbelievable. Anyway, it's not the target for tonight, so we're gonna just appreciate that we found her and let her go back on our way right after getting a measurement. And to do that, I'm gonna unfortunately have to stretch her out. This will not hurt her at all. I will just gently grab her by the head. All right, I'm just gonna be very gentle here. Press down on the head and get my hand in there. Now, I'm not applying a lot of pressure at all. As you can see, she is still twitching around quite freely. All right, we've got her safely restrained now. She's not resisting too much, but I still don't want to get too close because look what happens the moment that I move my head. She opens that mouth ready to bite. So we're gonna keep this quick. I'm gonna need Sky's help to stretch her out and get an accurate measurement, and we'll see you in a moment for the release. What the is that what I think it is? Holy shit! Another one!
Holy
What on earth? Another one!
wow!
Another decent size, but nowhere near as big as that gargantuan one we just got literally like 5 minutes ago.
Holy!
Strikey as well.
Oh,
Wow!
look at our luck, honey.
That is absolutely outrageous. This must be the perfect weather for them.
It just stopped raining.
Yeah,
too,
it just
after
stopped
a whole
raining.
Day of raining.
Yeah. All right, well, we've got the giant monster, and we've already taken plenty of photos with that smaller one that we got last night. So I think we're good to just let this one cruise off?
Yeah, but can you put him like a bit more?
Yeah, I'm gonna put him away because I really wouldn't want him to become roadkill.
Or whiskey.
Or whiskey, yeah. So the numbers of these are actually in decline because the Japanese make a whiskey or some sort of alcoholic beverage from these, which is quite unfortunate, but
Yeah, just make sure he really
yeah,
gets
I'm
in.
just gonna make sure this guy gets off the road. All right, he's headed to the bushes now. We're good. Let's keep going. We left the car in the middle of the road too. All right, after a very exciting and fruitful car journey, we finally arrived at the area again for the Taiwanese Habu. So we're about to stop and do some road walking because the road here isn't very wide or very long, so I don't think cruising is going to be the way to go. Yeah, we're just going to stop and have a look around. All right, we are out searching for the Taiwanese Habu, and as you can see, again, we're in quite disturbed and human-modified habitat, which is actually pretty typical for invasive species, that they tend to do better in these like urban sort of environments where there's less competition. So let's see if we can find one. Supposedly there's a lot of traps set out by the government as well. I'm gonna keep my eye out for those as well. Maybe we can do some trap raiding because they are supposedly live catch traps. And I'm also quite curious how a snake trap is supposed to work. I'm very interested to see what the mechanism is. All right, guys, check this out. Here is one of the Habu traps I was speaking about. These ones are discarded and no longer in use, so I think it's okay for me to touch and interfere with them. But it's basically a large box with a hole in the front. I'm gonna open it up here to show you how these work. Now, there's a hole with this like spiky funnel thing, so the snake will come in and then not be able to find its way back out because of those soft, like frizzy funnel things. And then in this section that is not connected, there's a water bottle and a food bowl where they will keep a live mouse inside as bait. Very interesting setup. Holy crap, that was quick. Literally just started walking, not even 20 minutes in, and have a look what I see on the ground there. My last major target for the region, the Taiwanese Habu. And by the looks of things, an adult as well. Before I disturb him, I want to actually get myself a stick because word is that this is probably the most bitey and also one of the most toxic of all the Habu species. So definitely wouldn't want to cop a bite. And as long as I don't disturb it, he should stay put. Let me find a stick. You find me a stick. All right. I've had to grab him by the tail to prevent escape. Yep, will do. I'm gonna actually purposely let him like get tangled into the vegetation because with a lot of bitey snakes, if you can keep them trying to escape rather than turn, that's actually a good way to avoid being bit. All right, could you take over with the filming? Camera's rolling. There we go. Have a look at that. My lifer Taiwanese Habu. Not in their native range, but it's still a wild snake. They've been introduced here for quite a long time. The government is trying like hell to eradicate them with traps all around the island, but to no great success because as you can see, we found one within like 20 minutes of walking, and I'm sure we'll probably be able to see more if we keep searching. Nice adult Taiwanese Habu. He was a bit defensive at first, but to be honest, this guy is nowhere near as bad as the captive specimens were that I've worked with in captivity. As you can see, he is reasonably handleable, pretty much just like any other viper. I mean, look at this. He is obviously picking up my heat signature. They are pit vipers, but overall, as you can see, he's a very manageable little dude as long as you pay attention to not put your hand too close directly in front of him, which would, of course, set him off. But let me put him onto the ground here. As you can see, he'll just keep trying to escape more than anything. But coming close from above here and getting a nice view of this guy, because he's actually, despite being invasive, it's a really pretty snake. I mean, it's a small species of Habu, but still very, very pretty. Reminds me a bit of the Habu Lancehead, which I was targeting big time in Thailand without success. So I guess this is the closest I'm going to get to that for now. Still, a very, very nice snake, and the final target species for Japan ticked off. Not often that it happens that you go on a trip and get every single one of your targets. That is absolutely amazing. Anyway, we're just gonna send this little buddy on his way. Keep searching, maybe we can turn up a couple more. Look at that. What a beauty. All right, away you go, sir. Wow, just walking around seeing if we could spot another Habu. Look what I spotted there. To my surprise, not a Habu, but an absolutely giant Achalinus, the odd-scaled snake. This one is so much bigger than the ones we've previously seen. Very, very derpy. Look how big this thing is compared to the others. Much brighter colors as well. If the camera would focus there. Have a look at that. Super pretty. What a cool snake. Might actually bring this one back to the car a few steps to take a few more photos as well, because this one's significantly better than the ones I've photographed so far. Man, their skin feels so weird. It's like a dragon snake, almost like plasticky. Super strange. Hold on. Yeah, he's hiding his head. Didn't know they got this big. I thought those other ones that we'd seen were adults. No bite. All right, just spent a couple more hours walking around. Unfortunately, no more Taiwanese Habus. The only other snake we saw was that little odd-scaled snake. It's getting late now and we're pretty tired. We've been herping really hard every single day. So I think this marks the end of our little Japan series. Thank you guys very much for watching and stay tuned for whatever we have planned next. Alright guys, before we end the video, I wanted to take a quick moment to remind you guys that I have merch available. My personal favorite is this new one that I've never shown on the channel before. If you come in close, you can see it is all the scientific genus names of every elapid snake in the world forming a skull when you go further out. I really like this one a lot. Sky is wearing one of the OG designs, probably the first shirt I ever launched, I believe. Still, one of my absolute all-time favorites. And we also got several new ones which you've never seen before, as well as some of the old ones, which we've kind of revamped in different colors. As you can see, this one is now available on white, as is that one. We've also got this brand new Elapidae shirt featuring a red spitting cobra, a nice VIPERidae shirt featuring a Hagen's pit viper, as well as some of the more old classics, such as this Atheris, which is also one of my all-time favorites, and then another new one, which is a funny sort of prank t-shirt. As you can see, it has a life-size spider. It even has a little shadow on it in a really random place, and then when you turn it over, on the front it says, "Yes, I know about the spider on my back." I feel like that could be a funny one to wear out in public. But yeah, lots more. Don't have enough time to show all of them here, but have a look. You can find them in my channel down below the videos or on my channel page in the shop section. You can also find them on Amazon by just searching David's Feed t-shirts. I've also designed this cool Japanese style t-shirt, which I've designed specifically to go with this little Japan series we just finished. Unfortunately, it's not ready yet, but those should be available any day now.
What are you doing?